Hello YouTube, Johnny the Car Doctor here again, and I am going to be showing you another do-it-yourself video. It's going to be part of the Rocky Bunny FRS project. A lot of people do it, and they've kind of shifted my thinking to keeping the stock taillights first of all, because I really like them. I like the design, the way that the LEDs, they kind of form a ring. It kind of gives it that sort of like Ferrari 458 look and kind of like an exotic look. I don't plan on changing the taillights anytime soon. Maybe later on in the future I will do something a little bit different. But for now, I really don't like chrome. As you can see, the stock taillights have a lot of chrome, and it's not my thing to have too much chrome. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot, especially in wheels. So what I will be doing today is making them red with DHT nightshades. So I've been thinking about it, and I really like it. I really like it when the tail lights are red and have like a little white for the reverse lights, or in this case the turn signals. So the reverse lights are down here. Go ahead and get started on that. I'm going to go ahead and show you a quick clip of how to remove your tail lights in case some of you don't know. It's pretty simple, but it's basically help you guys out. A little bit of the tools that I'm going to use to remove the tail lights. Basically an 8mm socket. You can use a ratchet. In my case, using the drill. Also, you'll need a flathead screwdriver to remove all of the little clips. Also, there's some clips that go on the tail light where the bolts go, so you're gonna have to remove those. So I have this little extra handy tool, but you can also use the flathead screwdriver for that. Let's go ahead and get started on removing the tail light. Okay, I'm on the right tail light right now. So first, let's remove this clip right here. Pops off really easy. And we got another one over here just for a little bit of extra wiggle room. You can just pull this down a little bit. And as you guys can see, you can see the tail light where it bolts up to. So it's got four nuts where it holds on, and it has a little clip right here. So let's go ahead and remove this clip. Fairly simple. These are the little things I was talking about that you have to remove, so I have this little tool to help me remove them a little bit easier. 4 8mm nuts. Go. All you do is pull it out. Right off. Okay, so the plan is to red out basically most of the tail light except the part where the turn signal goes. That way we can have that red and white effect, kind of like most factory tail lights do, because I don't really like the chrome, so that'll help hide that area, and yeah, basically make it look a lot nicer than it already is. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape up all the areas. So I tape the part that I don't want to be painted. I'm going to go ahead and tape the back part of this so that we don't get any red out paint on this. Okay, so after you've cleaned it off, made sure there was no dirt, no debris, use some wax and grease remover. I'm going to go ahead and start with the first coat, and it's basically just going to be a light coating to make sure that it sticks on there properly. Go ahead and shake the can up a bit. Go ahead and let that dry on there. Give it a good, say, couple minutes. Okay, let it dry for a little bit. Time for the second coat. Just keep coating it till you get your desired color, desired amount. I'm probably going to put quite a bit more because it looks kind of pinkish. I want it to be more red. Depending on how heavy you charge it with paint is if it's going to be a matte color or a gloss color. So keep that in mind. Put a little bit of extra paint. Make sure you don't put too much. You can have it look glossy without having to add clear to it. There we go. It's getting to that desired color. So some people add clear afterwards sometimes. Some don't. Some like the matte. I personally like the glossy finish a lot better. It looks more factory. So all you have to do is kind of give it a little bit extra, not too much, and make sure it spreads evenly, or else you're gonna get some runs in there, or it's gonna look kind of, you're gonna get a fisheye type thing, what painters call, where the paint kind of like has some uglier spots on it. There's the second light with the finished coats. It's still drying, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove the tape from there now, just so that when it's a little bit moist, it doesn't bring up the paint when it's still wet. Go. Just be very careful from touching the wet paint, and that's how they're gonna end up looking. Let them dry for probably an hour, I would say, so make sure that you can touch it, because right now it's fairly wet, and once it dries up, the color gets a little bit lighter, not too much. And then it also, since it's wet and it's heavily on there, you're gonna see kind of like an orange peel. But as soon as if you just leave it on its backside like that, and it's drying, it levels it out and makes it a nice, smooth, glossy finish. And there we go. It is done. You can see, left this part clear, redded out the other part, and basically put enough coats on there to where it's really red, and the last coat was a little bit heavy, that gloss look. So basically, make it look like it's from factory. What do you guys think?